Hello, good afternoon everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Chocolo Roberto here for another live review. This time it's the Moser Roth Milk White and Dark selection. Yes, or the collection. Hi Andrew, how are you doing? Hope you're doing alright. Yeah, good to see you again. I feel like I always say that really, but you know, it's true. Yeah, you voted Thornton's, you say? Yeah, in the poll, by the way. There's a poll in the chat if you have a look, by the way, if you're watching this. Yeah, voted Thornton's. Camel is not going to make the good selection. Milk tray is now very bland. But yeah, milk tray has been a bit bland. I know you're a bit disappointed with the dairy box as well. Yeah, I mean, it probably still is reasonable, isn't it, the dairy box? But obviously, I find that once they take out these sort of quirky ones or the ones that make them stand out a bit, that's when they become a bit mundane, really. Yeah, Hotel Chocolate, yeah, they are. They're good, but they're overpriced. Yes, you're very, very true there. And I think I don't think they need to be that much either, really. But yeah, so... Yeah, speaking of Hotel Chocolate, I've obviously got this Moser Roth version here. Now, you could say it's very similar to the H-Box by Hotel Chocolate. I don't know which came first. I'm assuming the H-Box came first. And this is kind of a bit of a blatant rip-off, I think, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Tommy and Cabby and Thornton's, you say, Keepy. And hello there, by the way. Hope you're doing all right, Keepy. Good to see you, by the way. Great to see you in Discord as well, of course. Yeah, so yeah, hope you're doing all right, all of you. And yeah, a bit of a difficult one, I must say, actually. I think Thornton's are quite... I think a lot of them... They do multiple selections, don't they? That's the problem. So some of the selections are better than others, and sometimes you think if they just mix them together, it'd be even better. But I'm not sure what I would go for. I have to say it's a very difficult one. Of course, Cadbury and Nestle do the sort of more everyday ones. Now, Hotel Chocolate obviously very high up on the price range, but obviously on the speciality range as well. Thornton's are kind of a bit in between them both, I'd say. I think Thornton's have come down a bit to be a bit more supermarket level recently, but still kind of got a bit something about them. Yeah, it's a difficult one. But yes, very pretty chocolates. Yeah. No, I think obviously yes, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, you can see the reflection there. At the end of the day, obviously, yeah, I guess you don't judge a book by its cover, but yeah, I think if they look nice, it does count for something. I think it does count for something. Yeah, Yes, Thornton more variety in Cadbury. Yeah, I quite like Thornton's, but I find lots of those sort of selections nowadays just tend to have very similar things in, like truffles and very mundane caramels and stuff like that. Their kind of level of excitement is generally having a salted caramel. Yeah, so those of you perhaps new to the live review, welcome, by the way, welcome if you are. Sort of go over most weeks sort of reviewing, sort of not necessarily a chocolate selection, but sort of a group of chocolates sometimes or whatever. And obviously this week it's the Moser Roth collection from Aldi. You get these from £4.99 basically, which is over half the price of an equivalent H box, I think you'd say, from Hotel Chocolat. And I do happen to have one because I went to Hotel Chocolat today. So if you can see, I've got the Halloween one actually, which may be sneak might be what coming up next week. But you can see here, this is what there's basically. You can see they're very similar in look, can't you? Really? But I would say actually, I don't know, the Hotel Chocolat ones don't look that great. Really, I realise this is a very sort of, specific one to Halloween, but I don't know. I would say the most of the rough ones do have a bit more of an air of quality about them. I would say actually, this one looks a bit more homemade. Especially with the writing and stuff like that and the ghost. I don't know. Yeah. Don't know what you think about that. Let me know what you think. But I think the Moser Roth one definitely looks a better quality set of chocolates there. Obviously, this is not really comparing apples with apples because this is kind of a Halloween one. It's a bit not quite the typical one. But even so, yeah. Interesting. So we might be doing that next week, by the way. I don't normally do a vote for the live review, but maybe because it's Halloween next couple of weeks, we're doing some perhaps live Halloween specials, maybe. That doesn't mean I'll be dressing up, by the way. Please don't expect. Yeah. So the ones in the poll have a specific target audience, you think? Yeah. Perhaps so. You could be right there, QP. Yeah. So you could be right there. I know you're asking me, but yeah, you could be right there. They are different levels of chocolate, I would say, for sure. I think Cadbury and Nestle are kind of more everyday chocolates for sure. And Thornton's a bit above that, and then Hotel Chocolat kind of a bit more expensive. And yeah, so I think you're right there. I think yeah, alluding to that. Just him Nestle Sport Dairy Box. Yeah, I know you're a bit devastated by it, Andrew. I'll have to review it again at some point. I think I've reviewed 2 of them now. I think I have anyway. But yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, I think what's the thing is they sort of do. They just I don't know. They cater for they try and cater for the majority of people, don't they? But I think sometimes they can lose part of what makes it special by doing that. You expect to dress up? Imagine that, honest to God. I mean, I can barely dress myself normally, never mind in a Halloween outfit. Oh dear. Yeah, ghost costume eye holes. Yeah, I see. I'll just put a bag over my head or something. Is that what you? Well, you never know. I may surprise you, but honestly, I would not. I would not hold your breath. But we'll see. What's your thoughts on the seashell chocolate? Yes, I forget the name. Yeah, the Goulian or Guyan. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, to me, it's a bit. It's all right. Basically, I've never been a massive fan of them. Yeah, that's the one, Andrew. That's the one. Let me know if the quality is in the video stream's okay, by the way. It's been a bit fluctuating today for some reason. I don't know if it's just my screen or not. Yeah, I think they're all right, basically, QP. I think they're okay. I think the long story short is that they're a bit sort of, I don't know. Is it still there, by the way, the connection? It's saying it's disappeared on mine for some reason. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's just my internet for you. Yeah. I think they're okay. I think they're nice, but some people do like. For me myself, they're a bit sort of praline-y, basically, just very typical truffles. But they are. A lot of people do like them. If you like that kind of chocolate, I think it's definitely, I think it's a good present, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah. But and they do look nice as well. It's a good gift for people. That's for sure. Yes. You can see here fine. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, thanks. On my screen, it's going a bit crazy, but it's the analytics seems to be okay. And hi, Rick. How are you doing? How's Canada today? Hope you're doing all right. Yeah. Good to see you again. Good to see you. Yeah, we're just basically reviewing. You can probably tell really. Milk dark and white selection. Just saying here, just a quick overview of what we're saying. It's based on these sort of H boxes from Hotel Chocolat. This is the Halloween one. But I think you would definitely say this one doesn't. This one has a very nice look to it compared to this one. Looks a bit more homemade and things. Yeah, so interesting. Now I did become prepared this time. I've taken photo of the back so we can see the chocolates. I've already done it this time. Makes a change. Be prepared. Yeah, they do look very nice actually, don't they? Andrew mentioned that before. They do look really good. They have a very nice air of quality about these. Now Hotel Chocolat do similar ones to this. That have this more of a look to them than this one. This is kind of the Halloween one, so it does look a bit rough and ready. But I think you would definitely say that you might think, oh well, Hotel Chocolat, they always look amazing. Well, I don't know. I'm not too keen on the look of this one. But this one, yeah, I think it looks really nice. So yeah, it looks really nice. So we can see, yes, yeah, I think Goulian, yes, I think it's one of those. I think you either really like them or you find them a bit, a bit normal. Really, it's just a bit QP. But I think it's still all chocolate's a nice present. Don't forget. I don't think, please don't, It's on this channel obviously we do scrutinise things a bit too much sometimes, so obviously there is that, but I think they're a good present for someone and they look very nice. They're a nice present to get someone. It's a nice selection, so yeah, for sure. They taste like praline, I think. Andrew might know. I think it's more, it might be hazelnut. Yeah, I think it's a bit like a sort of hazelnut praline basically. So I think I'm saying almond. It is hazelnut, isn't it? Yeah, they do have a hazelnut taste to them. It's a bit like soft sort of truffly hazelnut chocolate basically. Is the gist of it. So it's one of those. I'm trying to think of a good equivalent really. Let's have a see. This one's your favourite, Andrew, is it? Yeah, so right, should be interesting then. Should be so we'll see how it goes. I'm a bit worried it might be a bit mundane, but we'll see. We've got a good selection of chocolates here. I'll just move it in front of my face. I do apologize. Well, maybe you prefer this. So it's sour cherry here. Yeah, so I'll just read from the box. Actually, that'll be easy for me. Zingian fruity cherry flavoured chocolate truffle coated with dark chocolate. So I think that was in another selection we did the other week. So it is a repeat, that one. I think that's the only one though that's a bit of a repeat. Got the Fudge Sunday. Milk chocolate ganache laced with gooey salted caramel, creating a delicious fudge sundae. Yeah, an Eton mess, which is a kind of dessert, English dessert, I guess you'd say. It's a bit of a weird one. Heavenly chocolate mousse, studded with raspberry and crispy meringue pieces. There we go. I feel a bit bad covering my face up like there. I'm here there. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll just leave it there then. How about that? You can see my face half there. Almond Duo, blonde chocolate with hints of caramel laid with rich dark chocolate paired with pieces of caramelised crisp almonds. Yes, they've got the speculoos. Crispy, gently spiced biscuit pieces wrapped in smooth speculoos of milk chocolate. So that's that kind of like that spiced biscuit you get around Christmas time. Sometimes the winter spice it's called in some bars. Maple and pecan, rich maple and caramelised pecans is one for you, Rick. Pieces covered in smooth milk chocolate. And salted caramel cheesecake, which sounds interesting. crunchy biscuit and salted caramel biscuits encased in milk chocolate. And they got the super milk crunchy praline, whatever that means. Milk and dark chocolate with roasted and salted hazelnut praline. Hand finished with caramelized hazelnut pieces. So they all sound very nice, don't they? They all sound very good there. Yeah. It's Andrew's favourite, this one, other than the winter one, which we'll probably do later in the year, of course, because it's nearer winter time. Yes. Nice gift on the eyes. Is that the Goulian ones, Rick? Yeah, do they have them in Canada now, I take it? It sounds, yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, they are a nice set for sure. Janduja, you say, is that what it is, Andrew? Yeah, probably, yeah, actually, speaking of what we spoke of last week, yes, that sounds about right. And they do look a posh one. And there you go, Keeper. You can say it's like Janduja. You can say that to your friend as well. So it's Janduja chocolates. It's basically a hazelnut spread, I think, is the gist of it. I'm not sure, but it's the posh way the Italians call it anyway. So there we go. Specular sounds nice. Craving maple donuts right now, you see. Yeah, well, there you go, Rick, you see. Yes. I heard there's a big robbery on some big vats of Canadian maple syrup at some point. It costs like about loads of millions of, well, I guess Canadian dollars, I guess, or pounds as well. Yeah, honestly. Right, okay, so I guess we should perhaps get into this. What do you think? Let's do it, shall we? What do you want to do, everyone? Should we just start from the top left and work our way around, or does any save the best till last? What do you think? I did already rate the sour cherry. I do worry I won't give it the same rating as I rated last time. Yeah, you see, QP, yes, exactly. So you want to quote that when you give it to your friend. Oh. Right, yeah, so what do you think? Anyone got any preferences? I think we might I'll give them an open to start with. How about that? That's a good start, isn't it? So let's give them an open then. So I'll tell you what, I might move myself down to do it. Let's see. I did have the second camera, didn't I, when I first started doing these? But I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Let me know what you think about that, if the second camera idea was a good idea. I haven't done it for a while. Just trying to move things out of the way. What's all this stuff here? There we go. Right. Okay, there we go. A bit white there, you can see it's a bit saturated. I'll just tone the colour down a bit. If I can. There we go. There we are, how about that? Oh, not too much better, but we'll do our best. Yeah, okay. Just make a bit of space, actually. Got so much room. There we are. Yeah, so you can see, move it up a bit, the colour will sort itself out slightly. Not sure how to sort of sort this colour out, really. As you can see, it seems to sort of, there you go. It's getting a bit better. There we are. That's a bit better. Just needs some time, I think. Yes, the sour cherry's been done last week. Yes. Well, I can't be that harsh on things, Andrew. I don't think, for me. I mean, yeah, because it's not its fault, is it really? I mean, I don't know what to make of that. If there are some sort of obviously, if they had the same ones in all the sets, it would be a bit disappointing. But yeah, I don't know. Sharing one or two, I guess, is okay. I quite like the fact that it is a distinct one, and I think it's definitely one that works well with dark chocolate. But probably a good one to start with because we've done it before, like you say. Although it would be one I'd normally save till the end. So you can see we've got the nice little case here. Well, booklet. I think these are nice as well. I think they do quite a nice job with these selections, really. I must say, I have been very impressed with these so far, these Moser Roth ones. And I would have said we've done perhaps the two weaker ones. I think they only do 4 of them. And they were very nice. One of which, the boozy one, was surprisingly very nice and not very alcohol-like at all. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. Yes, there we go. So got a nice few ones. So which ones are the only ones that appear once? Looks like the sour cherry, this maple one, super milk crunchy praline rather. There's 2 of it. So there's 13 in here? 9, 13 in total. And I think there's, as you can see here, there's 8 different kinds of chocolate here. So 3 of them only appear once, unfortunately, which is a shame. I think it's these 2 and the sour cherry one here. So those ones there only appear once. So maybe we'll save them till last because there's only 1 of them. So if we need to go over it again. Yeah, the booklet's a good idea. I do like booklets. I think it's really nice. I don't even know if I think Hotel Chocolat do it, but it's definitely not as, I don't know. They don't even the booklet in Hotel Chocolat. I don't think it feels quite as nice as these ones. I think there's something about it from memory that wasn't quite as good. But it's a nice little booklet. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, so those of you who don't know, just might have hinted at it. I'll probably do next week. I don't think I'll do a vote next week. I think I might just do the Halloween H box for next week, just because it's near Halloween. And then the week after, I might do like a small, sort of more a variety of different Halloween products, maybe like some sweets and things like that. So just do a bit of a Halloween one. You know, yeah, get them out of the way basically. I might be trying to do some Halloween products, just regular reviews as well, in the next 2 weeks as well. So it's going to be a bit Halloweeny, I think. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point, Andrew. Yeah, you're right. It's good that they do it, really. As you say, you don't need to mess about the box then. There is obviously nothing underneath it, by the way, but there we go. Yeah, and I think the other thing with Hotel Chocolate, for better or worse, these ones obviously have a distinct bottom. Now, you could, you know, so Moser Roth have created a different bottom for all of their products, you know, to match the colour of it, whereas Hotel Chocolat, you know, you know, I mean, it's probably a good idea in theory, but they're still making the same amount. They use the same sort of bottom as well, so obviously they probably print off a different thing on it, but it's still, you know, yeah, it's not like an orange bottom, for instance, you know what I mean? So yeah, at least that's the ones I've noticed anyway them doing. Alright, so well, there's ones they do one of each time, so we'll save them till last. I think we'll save the ones they do only three of till last. I say it's a shame, but it's a common thing in these selections. So it's these three here, so we'll try and move them. If I can get this one out. It's a tight fit. So yeah, these are the ones they only do one of. So I might just move them separately somewhere, perhaps, just to keep them safe, and I don't eat them by accident without forgetting. I might do this one here. Is this only in it once as well? Yeah, so maybe there's 4 of them that are only in. Oh no, I took the wrong one out. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Yes. Okay, makes sense. So it's quite a nice selection. I think this one definitely adds to the colour of it. I think without this one, maybe the Eat and Mess ones, it's a bit bland. But even so, I don't think that's a problem. I think these ones look quite nice actually as well. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, Quiz Rocket Roses and Memories, every flavour. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. That's one good thing about those, Andrew, isn't it? You can, you know, as you say, they are sort of, you know what you're getting, basically, don't you? I think is the gist of it. But yeah, the booklets are nice touch. I think you're right there, Rick. You're right. Yes, I'll try and do maybe some kind of Canadian International live at some point as well, or at least do some of the Canadian bars I've got, especially that for what it's called now, Cherry. I keep thinking Cherry Ripe, but it's not that, is it? Is it Cherry Blossom or something? I can't think what it's called. But anyway, yes. How much? This was £4.99, £4.99. So basically that's roughly $10 essentially, $10 US. So I'm not sure what the conversion rate for Canadian dollars is. But yeah, so it's not a bad price. It's over half. This one here. This was about £13, so it's over double the price. It's like 150% more, something like pretty much. Yeah, so you know what I mean. So the H boxes from Hotel Chocolat are a lot more expensive. All right, well let's start reviewing one, shall we? Let's go. So I'll do this one first, I think. Let's move these to one side. This one looks quite nice. I say, let me know if you've got any preferences or ones you want to save till the end or anything. The best ones till last, of course. So what have we got here? So it's the is it the Fudge Sunday? I think it looks quite nice. Let's have a look. Fudge Sunday. Milk chocolate ganache laced with gooey salted caramel, creating a delicious fudge sundae. I'm sure there's a salted caramel one elsewhere, isn't there? The salted caramel cheesecake is obviously salted caramel, so they've gone to town with the salted caramel a bit. But yeah. Oh, I see. Yes. Not keen on the H-Box QP. Yeah, how come? I don't mind them, but yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like they're a bit. Yeah, I know what you mean. I can see what you're saying. They don't seem to sort of. I feel like the Moser Roth ones are a bit more exciting than the H-Boxes that I've tasted. Anyway, they've always seemed a bit underwhelming. Yeah, 13. I thought it might have been Rick, but I didn't want to guess because I remember looking at it the other week for some reason. What was I looking at it for? Yeah, I can't remember now. Might have been actually when I was thinking about the chocolates I was getting the Canadian chocolates we were talking about. I think that might have been what it was. Waiting for the cherry blossom, yes. I think we'll do another mystery review of Pasteur. This was a very close review, by the way. It was between this and the Fox's Biscuits, and I think this one only won by 1 vote, pretty much. Okay, it's about 1.5 centimetres high. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tasting that. I want to see what the fuss is about. 2.9 wide. This is at the bottom there. At the top, 2.6. That's what we said before. It was, yeah. 2.9. Yeah. Okay, and the height of it, I think I've already done that. 1.5. But yeah, with the little swirl on top, about 1.7. There we go. Yeah, 175. I remember that, Andrew. I do remember that. £175 for the Hotel Chocolat chocolate selection. You know, it is definitely style over substance. I did go in M&S today, by the way. I risked it, and I did go in and I did buy some things. I did buy some. So I spent quite a lot of money in M&S today. I feel like M&S is a bit of a, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a style over substance shop, but you're definitely paying more for what you're getting for regular stuff in M&S. I know they do a lot of specific things, but you know, buying milk costs more there and stuff like that. But they do have a lot of nice things actually. I was quite impressed with it. Okay, let's give this a cut then, shall we? Perhaps need a sharper knife, don't I? Oop, there's the decoration gone. So they are quite thick in the chocolates, these ones, I've noticed as well. So you can see this bit's fallen apart a bit, but we've got a nice dissection here. Want to have a better word? If it focuses in. There we go. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? That looks not bad. I'll say this is the Fudge Sunday. Yeah. Yeah, looks pretty good. Quite excited for these ones. We didn't do the calories, did we? We best do that in a minute. Yes, chocolate ganache, gooey salted caramel. What does that say? I can't read. Coating. Oh, creating a delicious fudge sundae. Okay, gooey salted caramel. Doesn't look very gooey though, does it? The salted caramel there. It is quite fudgy, so it's not that gooey. I don't know where that's come from. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just before I forget, then I'll just quickly show the back of the box. So I should have done this before, but I forgot. So just give a quick look on the calories before I forget what's in them. Yeah, so per 100 grams, 567 calories, so a bit above the 500 to 550 scale that most chocolates have. 34.4 grams of fat, 18.8 of which are saturates. Per chocolate, approximately 12 grams, 68 calories, 4.1 grams of fat, 2.3 of which are saturates. So relatively high in calories, really. 160 gram box. Anything of interest on here? Milk chocolate contains cocoa solids 30% minimum, milk solids 20% minimum. Dark chocolate contains cocoa solids 55% minimum. Does it have any palm oil? There's quite a lot of ingredients here. Yeah, there's some palm there. If I can, there you go. Apologies for my state of my fingers. Palm oil there. And yeah, it's got a milk chocolate 33%, it says. Dark chocolate 21%, white chocolate 16%. There we go. I don't know if that's a total thing, I assume it is. So obviously more milk chocolate than anything else. I guess is the norm, isn't it? Then dark chocolate, then white chocolate. White chocolate always does seem to come off worse, I think, in the amounts that are included. Okay, right. Well, I'm looking forward to this one. Just give a bit of a close up on this. This is the salted caramel inside. So you can see it's definitely not really gooey. A bit powdery, isn't it? Quite a thick chocolate base. That's quite nice. Yeah, you like the look of it, QP. Yeah, it does look nice, doesn't it? Yes. Just had to eat more of your Ferrero Rocher chocolate bar. You've done well to keep it for so long. Oh, well done. Are you a big fan of that one then, QP? I think I can't quite recall what you said in Discord. Oop, what am I doing? I need to review them as well. I've got them to review. I don't know. I'm going to try and do some more reviews after this, I think. But obviously, you know, I've got to be careful. You know, I've got chocolate coming out my ears. I think I already do. I think, but there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so do you all eat chocolate while you're watching these reviews? Is that the kind of the thing you do? It'd be quite a good idea, actually. I know QP sometimes mentions that. Yeah, that's right. I do remember you saying about that now, QP. Yeah, it's I don't know if it's wafery or not, but yeah. Shame that, really. A shame, but at least it gives you the taste of Ferrero Rocher, I guess. All right, let's give this one a go. Let's say, there we are. If we can focus in. Yeah, you excited about this one? Fudge Sunday? Let's see. Let's give it a go. Not bad, you know. The fudge isn't very chewy. It's very much more like a truffle, I guess you'd say. So it's not like a chewy fudge or anything like that. It's not really. I wouldn't describe it as gooey either, which is what it mentions. But it's not bad. You can clearly taste. You know, I guess because it's the white. Well, it's white chocolate. You can taste the white chocolate on top. It's quite distinct. And I think it works quite well with the milk chocolate actually. Even the swirl on top, you could pretty much taste. I think it might have been dark chocolate, the swirl. I'm not too sure. It's definitely a bit darker. I'm not too sure. It was very nice, that. I quite like that one. It wasn't like one to blow your socks off, but it had a nice subtle salted caramel taste to it as well. I think it was okay. So we do have the problem of first chocolate syndrome, don't forget. Always have to remember that. Hi Sham, how you doing? Good you could make it. Oh, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. You ordered the Toffee Orange. Ah, yes. I felt like I might have undersold that one in the review. I felt speaking to Stephen Saunders in the comments about saying how he loved it, and I was a bit worried that I might not have rated it as highly as I should have. I don't know. It just didn't. I liked it a lot actually. But my rating didn't really seem to reflect that I liked it as much as I did. I think it just worked really well. It was really nice. I don't know. I just didn't give it like a higher mark as I thought I might have done. But it was really nice. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it wasn't chewy enough for me. I think it just sort of was a bit too, ephemeral. It just disappeared too quick. I think that's all it was. But I do really like it. It's one of those I might have to come back to again, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I might have been too harsh on that. I'm not sure. But then I thought about it. I don't know. At the time, maybe I was just expecting too much from it. I'm not sure. But it's still a really nice bar. Yeah. No, thanks, QP. Yes. Sometimes it's difficult because you review so much chocolate as well. Sometimes, you do worry that, maybe you just, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's very hard to... Yeah, it's just quite a lot of chocolate out there, basically. This is it. But most chocolate's always nice. That's why I always try and say. So, yeah. Toffee are very underrated bars. I do like them a lot, actually. Yeah, I do like them. I think that's it, Andrew. I think it was just too small. I think that was my problem with it. It was just too small. It went too quickly. I felt it was over before it began, almost. It was just something along those lines, basically. Yeah. So there we go. Yes. Just put me in the door. Hi, Scotty. You out and about, are you? Out and about? Yes. Hope you're having a good time. Let me know where you've got up to. It's not really chewy, QP, actually. No, that was my thing as well. I expected it to be a lot chewier than it was. It wasn't really. It was more... It wasn't, yeah. So I don't know if they've changed it. I remembered it being more chewy. But there we go. But there we are. Right, yes, that's yes for the Fudge Sunday. Sorry, I got a bit... yes, yeah. Before I forget what I've eaten. I think it's quite nice, actually. I think it was just a bit... let's just have a look at the other half. Let's have a see. I think it's quite nice, really. I think it's probably what you'd expect it to be, but slightly better. It's not a chewy fudge. It's a nice fudge, actually, because it's quite... well, I wouldn't really even describe it as fudge, to be honest with you. It's just like a sort of truffle. But nonetheless, it's nice. The salted caramel's quite subtle. I think works quite well. I think it's could have first chocolate syndrome, but I think it's a nice solid set of flavours. The white chocolate works well with the milk chocolate. I think the little swirl on top you can still taste. It tastes a bit dark chocolatey. I don't know if it is dark chocolate. So I think you could taste all the different chocolates in it, which is really good. And the salted caramel's quite a subtle flavour, but nice enough. It's a good bite from it all. I quite liked it. I think it just worked. So I think for me it's a 4 out of 5. That one. Yeah. You could argue if anything it's a 3 out of 5, a 3.5 out of 5 rather than a 4. But I think you can distinctly taste all the different parts of it, which is often not the case with these kind of chocolates where they mix around white chocolate and it's just obviously usually just lip service to the white chocolate. But this one you could distinctly taste it. So I think it was actually a good chocolate, and I quite like that one. I'll just clean my plate with all the chocolate crumbs. Yeah, not bad at all. Were Toffee popular back in the day? Yeah, they were. I'm sure they got a bit more. Yeah, I'm sure they got a bit more going on with them. Yeah, back then, I'm sure they did. They used to be on TV adverts and stuff. Yeah, they just seem to have died a death a bit now. Really, a lot of chocolate's done that though, hasn't it, recently? But yeah, they definitely were more popular. Yeah, I would say so. And happy birthday, Sham. Happy birthday. Yes, I think I remember you saying about that, actually. Yeah, happy birthday. Oh, good for you to make it on your birthday. So I hope you're having a lovely day. Are you doing anything nice for it, other than this, of course? Oh. Yeah, I quite like them so far, Andrew. I think they've been really good. I think I've definitely had no indication whatsoever that they're of any lesser quality than any other chocolate selections. And I think they're a good price as well. For what they are. Although having said that, you could argue that other chocolate selections, like the Lindt ones and things, are also around the same price and things like that. So, but I do feel like I feel that they're rightly priced. I feel like there's a good selection in them. I feel like they're no worse than the Hotel Chocolat ones, or Chocolato, whatever you want to say. So very happy with them. Very happy with them. Yeah, I think they're really good. Yes, Thornton's faded away, I suppose. Yeah, Time Out wafers. Yeah. Oh, Time Out. Sorry, not Thornton's. Time Out. Yeah, those ones are useless, aren't they, Andrew? Yeah, I must admit. But I don't know what they're doing with that at all. Very strange, misguided set of things. Yeah. 19 today, Sham. 19. Oh, well, nearly 20 then, honestly. Yes. Enjoy it while it lasts, that's what I say. Oh, honestly. Oh, well, happy birthday, Sham. Hope you're having a lovely day. Okay, so did eat a mess one next. Yes, so there we go. We've got two of these. It looks. This one looks interesting. Based on that sort of dessert pudding called an Eton mess of the same name. I think it's just. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. It's meringues involved, and I think like a kind of, not quite like, it's a bit like a trifle of some kind, isn't it? Like the custard, I guess. We can see here. It looks very nice. It's a popular one in the Hotel Chocolat H boxes. It's definitely there. So yeah, looks an interesting one. I get to focus in, it's not really doing it. So what's the actual description of this? Let's just have a quick look. I can expand it a bit. Let's see. Heavenly chocolate mousse, studded with raspberry and crispy meringue pieces. There we go, yeah. So it looks interesting. Is the white chocolate caramelised? No, I don't think it is, QP. I think it's just regular white chocolate, this one. Yeah. So, I know you're not a big fan of that, so I think I would definitely recommend these, yeah. You know, I would definitely recommend these ones. Honestly, let me know if the video is playing up a bit. It's telling me it's playing up on the right, but it seems to be fine according to the software, so I don't know. So do give me a... Yes. Right, so let's zoom down a bit. Okay. Yeah, the blonde chocolate. Is that what blonde chocolate basically is then, Andrew? Yeah, I assume it is really, isn't it? I know in M&S they had a blonde chocolate, which I might have got. Bit of a spoiler there. Right, okay. Let's just have a adjustment of the... Right. Okay. So will it focus in? Seems to not be wanting to focus in. Yeah, I guess that's the posh name for a I think caramel sounds better though than blonde chocolate. I think caramel's definitely a nicer thing. I can't. It's not. It doesn't want. There we go. Focused in. Okay. Right. Let's give this a bit of a measure then. About 1.9, 2 centimeters tall. And width at the top. About 2.9. Width at the bottom. About 2.4. Round up a bit there because it's millimeters. Yeah, maybe 2.5 on the other side. Right, no, about 2.4 as well. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, it's funny how they do these. Yeah, I guess there's been blondie brownies as well. I don't know if blondie brownies have. I thought they were just white chocolate brownies, but maybe it's caramel as well. So yeah, let's give this one a bit of a cut then. Careful my fingers. There we go. So you can see I have very thick chocolate in these, and I think that might be the only area where you could say that they might be sort of scrimping on a bit. But to be honest with you, I don't mind it because I think it means that the chocolate comes out a bit more. You know, which is very important on the white chocolate ones because often the white chocolate is just on the outside, and you actually don't get much of a flavour because it's too thin in a lot of other selections. Whereas this one, because it's quite thick, I think it's working quite well. I actually don't mind that. But it could be an area where you might say that they are saving money on. But I think it works quite well. There you can see the bottom bit there as well. Let's see what I actually said about expanding the thing again. Yes. Heavenly chocolate mousse studded with raspberry and crispy meringue pieces. Yeah. Ooh, just sneezed. That's me. Yeah, looks interesting. Looks very nice, this one. Yeah, ruby chocolate. Yeah, died a death, didn't it, as well? Yeah, it did just disappear, didn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know I don't know, really. I think it was just because I don't know. It tastes a bit like white chocolate just flavoured with raspberry or something, didn't it, as well? So I think it kind of wasn't... It didn't really stand out that much either. I know they do still sell it, though, in Magnums, don't they? Magnums still do a ruby chocolate ice lolly, I think. Maybe one or two other things. But, yeah, generally, yeah, I don't see it anymore at all. Yeah. Yeah, you're right there, QP. I think that's it. A lot of people do just tend to buy, you know... That's the thing. That's why... You know, it's like a lot of these chocolate selections don't really push the boat out too much. You know, they'll have like just salted caramel as the you know the wow flavour in it and stuff like that. I think you know, I think that's just it. And it's like crisps as well. And I think it's just generally backed up. People just buy the I always say it's about crisper because it's the best example. You know, ready salted, or I think it's now it's cheese and onion. Actually, I thought it was ready salted, but yeah, they're sort of like the most popular crisps in the UK, and I would say that they're not very exciting at all, really. Yes, there we go. All right, let's give this a go. Give it a taste. Not bad at all. You definitely taste the tartiness of the strawberry raspberry. Raspberry, thought it was. Yeah, you can definitely taste that, and it's quite creamy as well with the centre. Very nice this one. Yeah, it's a very nice one. This one, Rick. Yes. I think I've already done. I'll do it when I come to review it. Basically, Sham. I think I did it in a while back in one of the stash watches. But I tend to do what I'm going to review now. So it depends basically when I'll show it when I review it. Pretty much, I think is the gist of it. Yeah. But it's very nice, very interesting, very nice one. This one, I think it has a very distinct and beautiful look to it. I think it looks very, very, as you say, Moorish, very delicious. It's got a lovely look to it. It's very creamy, I think you'd say. But you definitely do get the crunch from the meringue in it as well. And you get a nice tartness from the raspberry pieces. It's definitely got lots of lovely textures in. And you can distinctly taste the white chocolate as well. I might just finish this one off. I do like the meringue pieces actually, because they give you quite a distinct texture change. It is quite creamy, I think you'd say. Definitely comes across that way. I think the white chocolate's nice. I think it's it definitely is a catch in your throat one, but I think because it's such a small sweet chocolate, it works okay. Yeah, it's definitely a bit different, QP. Definitely, it stands out because it's got that sort of fruitiness to it. As I say, it's quite a sort of tarty, sharp taste to it. It's nice actually. I do like that one. I think perhaps it's a bit creamy for my tastes. But as I say, it's kind of controlled a bit because it's in such a sort of smallish package, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's very nice. I really like that one. I think it's not blowing me away as much as it looks. Basically, I think it looks sort of. I think it looks fantastic. I mean, the taste is nice set of textures. I think it's just quite a creamy set of taste, really, for me. And as you all know, I'm sometimes not a big fan of too overly creamy sort of chocolates and things. But it was nice actually. I do like that one a lot. I think the textures are good. I think for me, it's I think it's got a bit of an oomph to it, but nonetheless, I think it's still. I think a lot of the taste is just sort of like a creamy taste. I think, but with the white chocolate and the sort of moussey bit as well. I think the stand-up part is the meringue and the raspberry, sort of like the tartness to it. But I think for me, generally, it's about 4 out of 5. I think, yeah, I like that one. It's a good chocolate and nice taste actually. Quite thick white chocolate. Just quite a bit too creamy for me, I think. It's quite the tartness comes from, I think, the sort of the strawberry bits, raspberry bits in it rather than in the cream part. So nice one, that one. Not too bad at all. Yeah, not too bad. Yes, I did see them, Sham. I did see them, but I didn't get them because I knew I wouldn't get round to them in time. I still got the other ones to review. So I best get the other ones to review first, because they're quite expensive as well. They're like about £3 or something. So I can't really. You've got so much chocolate already. I couldn't risk buying it and not doing it. But at some point, I hope to review them. But as I say, I've got the other ones to review first. So yeah, I thought I won't because I've got the other ones to do. Although having said that, you could argue that I've got too much chocolate anyway as it is. But yeah, they are on my radar. I just tried to tone it down a bit before getting them, because I knew Halloween was coming up and things like this as well. So yes, and hi Joe, how you doing? Yes, great to see you, Joe. Glad you could make it. Yeah, missed a couple of chocolates, but there we go. Yes, we're having a good time so far. Yeah, it's a nice day. Hope you're doing all right. And hi Alan as well. Great to see you. Oh, good to see you. Oh, yeah, good set of people here today. Great to see you. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Yeah. It's, what's the weather like today? Not too bad weather either today, actually. I did go out and about earlier. I went on a bit of a chocolate stroll, looking for Halloween products. As I was just saying to Sham before. So I've got a few things for probably a couple of weeks of Halloween stuff is the gist of it, I think, from now on in. Hope you're doing all right, Alan. Yeah, great to see you, and hope you're doing okay as well, Joe. Lovely to see you both. Yeah. Yes, actually, taste the chocolate decoration. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. You can in this one. You can taste the chocolate decorations. It's all quite, and even just the actual other parts of the chocolate, which you often can't taste in other chocolates, like I was saying before, the white chocolate in the Fudge Sunday. Yeah, you could distinctly taste it. Normally, when you have these in other chocolates, it's very thin, or it's I don't know, just doesn't really stand out. But in this one, you actually can, and that might be the only one or two attempts at having a white chocolate. Whereas this one, and as I say, in this one being a milk white and dark selection, you can't taste it. But you know, as I say, you could. So very impressed. So what have we got now? We've got the yes. Now we've got the one QB might not be too big a fan of. The Almond Duo. Yes. Yeah, the Almond Duo. Let's have a quick read of it, see what it says. Yeah. So, blonde chocolate with hints of caramel layered with rich dark chocolate paired with pieces of caramelized crisp almonds. Or almonds. Yes, there we go. Yes, here we are. So it looks very nice. I think we could say it's a sort of caramel, I think, is the gist of it. Let's have a see. Oh, thank you, Joe. Yes, thank you, Joe. Yeah, glad you're doing all right. Yes, good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, I think this one looks. Because you can see that there's kind of like a join there, can't you? Can you see that? Interesting. That I don't know. Might have missed that. I don't know if it's just on. Yeah, it's got like a sort of. It focuses in a bit better. We'll be able to see it a bit more. You can see that sort of striped line there around the centre, obviously where they join together, which is interesting. Okay, I'll zoom down a bit and might focus in a bit better down there. Let's have a look. If I can. Can I zoom down? Yes. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I was looking at there's some camera tools you can get like a lighting thing where you can adjust the brightness of the light on the fly with like a scale, you know. I thought that might be quite interesting to try out, but obviously, you know, it might cost a small fortune, so hard to justify, I think, whether it'll sort the problem. But basically, just to justify the brightness as and when quite easily. So, something to think about. When I make my millions, there I go, I can look into that. Right, yeah, so there we go. Will it focus in? Yeah, you can see there a bit better. You can see that distinct line there. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's just where it's bled together or what, if it's something. Probably just where it's bled together a bit between the dark and the blonde. I think it's quite an interesting combination though, blonde and dark there. Blonde being caramel, essentially, I assume. Let me just check this is Ted. Okay, yes. There we go, let's have a look. 2.8, 2.9. At the bottom and at the top. Roughly, about 2.5. There we go, 2.5. Yes, and yeah, and height. 1.4, 1.5, 1.5. Not bad. Yeah, looks an interesting one, this one. I think you would definitely say. Get my knife, I'll just a bit of a clean. Yes. Maple and pecan one reminds me of the time my housemate at uni gave me a huge slice of homemade pecan pie. I tried to eat the whole thing in front of her. It was my first time trying. How did you manage it? Oh, you didn't like it? Oh. Yeah, I think I don't think I'm a big fan of pecan either, QP, I have to say. I think I tried it in I think it was pecan anyway. I think I tried it. I know, yeah, maybe Rick will be a bit, a bit horrified to hear all this, but I'm sure I tried it. I don't think I was a big fan of it either. Let's see if I can give this a cut. Boop. So you can see there, which I like this. You can see it's quite distinct. Two blocks. I mean, look at that. They've actually separated as if they were completely separate. I really like that. So it's basically just two blocks of chocolate stuck together. I quite like this, actually. I mean, look at that. It's literally... It's just... yeah, that's really nice. So there's no sort of join problem there. You know, it's as if they've just literally been laying on top of each other and kind of just snuggled up together, really. But that looks really nice. Yeah, really nice. So I can try one separately and then one together. But you can see all the sort of... Yeah, I guess the almond pieces in the bottom bit. So they're just in the bottom as far as I can tell. In the dark chocolate. It looks quite a... looks a bit aerated there, doesn't it? I don't think it is, but it looks a bit like it is. It's very interesting. Yeah, 2 in 1, yes. Yeah, you're right there, Joe. I think that looks really nice, actually. I think, yeah, let's give this a taste. Quite excited for this one. Bit of almond crunch in there as well. I think almonds for me, I can, you know, sort of like chop nuts. I don't mind them. I think unless they're sort of distinctly flavoured, I don't think they generally do much for me. And they do provide a bit of a texture, but I prefer them to have a bit of a flavour. So whether it's roasted or caramelised or honeyed or something. I tend to like that, but I don't think these ones have got anything on them specifically. But it does say caramelised crisp almonds, actually. So yeah, so it could be interesting. Right, let's give this one a taste. Quite excited for this one. So I think it looks very interesting. Let's give it a go. I was talking before I do actually. Yeah, that, when we mentioned before, obviously when they've been laying on top of each other, that's where that little thing is, where they've just been a bit warm, melted into each other. So it works. I think they've done a good job there. Okay, let's give it a go. Very much a caramel taste to it. Very interesting actually. The I'm sure it said the bottom part was dark chocolate. It does taste, there is a dark chocolate aftertaste actually. It tastes a bit it does taste a bit, what's the word? A bit sort of, I wouldn't say cake-like, but it tastes a bit maybe slightly brownie-like to an extent. It's not soft or anything, but it just has a bit of a something about it. Yeah, something about it. Interesting. Let's have a look. Yeah, blonde chocolate with hints of caramelized layered with rich dark chocolate. I don't know, something quite interesting. You know, I said it looks a bit aerated. There's something about it that gives it a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a cakey feel. I don't know if it's just the flavours or something or what. I don't know. The almonds don't taste very almondy. I think they definitely hard to taste them because of the caramel. Can't get it to focus in there. Well, there you go. There's definitely something about this one. I quite like it. I'm just going to taste it individually just to see. So the caramel kind of blonde bit. It's quite nice actually. That. It's a nice. Yeah, it's just a nice caramel taste really. Sort of that sort of, as you say, caramel white chocolate. It's nice. It's nice. Quite. I wouldn't say it's too strong or anything. It's just about right really. Let's just try this bit as well. There's definitely an airiness to that. A bit of the crunch as well from the almond. I think it tastes quite nice actually. The almonds distinctly have a good crunch to them. I wouldn't say they've got a distinct caramel taste, but it's quite hard to detect that. Maybe in the dark chocolate, I'm not sure. It's a good combination actually. That's a very nice one. I think that one definitely punches above its weight. I think you definitely look at it and well, it looks nice actually, but I think you just think, well, you know, there's not too much exciting going on there, but the textures of it are actually very nice. Actually, very nice indeed. Yeah. What's everyone having for dinner today? Chocolate for me, QP. Believe it or not, this probably is my dinner. Yeah, let me know what everyone's having. I don't know. I think Joe will be having something very, very healthy yet very indulgent. I don't know how he manages to do that, but there we go. Joe's very clever with those kind of things. Yeah. This one sounds like your favourite, QP. Oh, I thought you weren't too keen on caramel, QP. Yeah, definitely an interesting one. Or do you mean the maple fudge? Was that one? Maple pecans thing. Oh, maybe not the pecan one. No, maybe not that one. So yeah, this one. I think this is a nice one actually, QP. Definitely. Reminds you of the triple chop block. Old M&S selection when you were a kid. Yeah. I think this one's very nice. It's very nicely laid. Obviously, the triple chocolate is, I guess it's not quite triple chocolate, but I know what you mean. Obviously, it's got the caramel is mixed with, you know, obviously a mix of things. But interesting. Chicken and Coke for you today, QP. Chicken and Coke? That's it's an unusual combination. I'm assuming the yes, okay. Honestly, nice combo. Yes, there we go. Yeah. Honestly, but no, very interesting one. This one, I really liked it. It's a very nice. Yeah, you're right. I think I'm not sure if you mean the chicken and Coke, QP, or the chocolate. But it's a nice combo. I'm not sure. I'm assuming the chocolate, but let me know if otherwise. Yeah, it's interesting. I think this one's actually very nice. Actually, I do quite like it. I think it's one of those again. The dark chocolate's really good in it. It just has a strange, I wouldn't say strange texture, but an interesting, unique texture to it that makes it taste a bit. I think cakey's the wrong word, but I can't think of anything else. It's not really even aerated. It just has it might be because it's coupled with the almonds as well. There's just something about it that's very nice actually, and I like the way the distinct layers and you can distinctly taste them. You know, again, that's the other thing with this, which I alluded to before, is that the chocolates, you can distinctly taste them. You know, none of them are just there for the sake of it, just to say, oh, it's a white chocolate, like they were in, even I think it was in the H boxes, I'm not sure, but there have been other chocolate selections where there's been a white chocolate, and all it was like a millimetre thick white chocolate on the top. I'm not exaggerating there, you know, and it was very small amount, maybe even just a swirl at the top was white chocolate. So very interesting. Yeah, I think, you know, it might sound like I'm underrating this one, but those other chocolates I reviewed, I say, were kind of 3.5. So this one, I don't think I could go as far as a 4.5, but I think it's definitely a 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's a really just solid, literally and metaphorically. Yeah, chocolate. It's really nice, that. I really enjoyed it. Great combination. Works very nice. And distinct as well. It has a unique taste to it. Yeah. Thought you... Chicken fire, see. Squash and lime juice. Yeah, I knew you'd have something that sounded like healthy but indulgent at the same time. Yeah, I don't know how you manage it, yeah. The fine legs yourself, Rick. I'm not even going to ask Rick yeah, okay. I thought probably peanut butter, your oatmeal cereal. Yeah, I knew peanut butter had to come into it somewhere. Yes, Chicago Town pepperoni pizza and cheese. That sounds nice, Keepy, as well. That does sound nice, yes. Yeah, it's Saturday after all. Yes, very true. Very true, Joe. Got to treat yourself, yeah. Peanut butter yourself up. That's what you got to do. Yeah, you like these chops to be more unique and distinct. Yeah, you're right there, Andrew. Especially more than dairy milk or milk tray. They are. You're right. They're not. They do the similar flavors in some respects, but they just do them better. They are really nice. Yeah, good in some ways. You're looking at in other places for own brand chocolates. Yeah, it's a very good point there, Andrew. Very good point. Yeah, I know Steve Jones in the comments as well. Doesn't come in the chats, but he might be watching. I know he sort of mentions that as well, really, and kind of refuses to go to these other places as well because they're just a rip-off. And to be honest with you, this is, as you say, a perfect example of why why you should look out for these things, because this is a really high-quality chocolate. I mean, it's still quite expensive, actually, though. It's only because it's in relation to the H-Box from Hotel Chocolat, it seems cheap. But it is still, well, I wouldn't say expensive is the word, but it's still, it's not a cheap product. It's still £5. But nonetheless, for what you're getting, I do think it's good value for money. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's a bit subjective, but of course, based on other chocolate selections you get and things, these ones are distinctly high quality looking chocolates that do follow through with the taste. So yeah, exactly, Cupid. They look high end, they do, and they have more variety. Yes, they're really interesting chocolates. I'm very happy with these. So yeah, I know Andrew was shouting on about them for quite some time, and he was definitely right. They were very good. Yeah, Galaxy Vegan Cookie Crumble yesterday. Yeah, I have reviewed that one. It's in my review backlog that I need to publish, Andrew. Yeah, it's I agree with you totally. It's made of hazelnut paste. That's why it's and may contain milk despite being vegan. Oh, thank you, Gia. Thanks so much. Yes, I always forget that. Please click the like button, everyone, if you're enjoying this channel. Even if you're not, click it anyway. It's really appreciated. Yeah. Yeah, it's made of hazelnut paste, QP. That's why it must be. I know some other bars have had that in, some just regular bars, I think. But anyway, I can't remember what they were now. But yeah, that's the gist of it, and I think that's just because it's a vegan bar apparently, even though it may contain milk. Yeah, because of the way it's made. Okay, so let's have a look then. So we've got the speculoos one now, which I'm quite excited for. This is the winter spice. It's that sort of kind of Dutch. I think you can get it in other places as well, of course, but I sort of associate it with Holland anyway, the Netherlands. Sort of wintry spiced biscuit. I think it is. It sounds a Dutch word as well, doesn't it? Let's face it. But yeah, that might be why I'm thinking of it. But yeah, so interesting one. I don't know if it's not really like Lebkuchen, which is like a soft biscuit, but it's similarly spiced, I guess, I think. But right, let's have a look then. Let's have a look. Ooh. Not 3 of these. Oh no. Okay, I've got... Right, there's 2 very similar coloured ones here. I have to make sure I get the right one. I think it's the lighter one. Although they're both quite similar. They are both quite similar, but you can clearly see one of them is slightly lighter than the other one. So this one's lighter. So I assume that, the lighter one is the speculoos one. So let's put this one back. The other one must be the salted caramel cheesecake, which sounds very nice in itself. It's funny though, isn't it? I just wish they'd have like blackcurrant cheesecake or something like that in these selections. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's where it should be. Why, you got your salted caramel one in the Fudge Sunday. Make it, make this one blackcurrant or something interesting. You know what I mean? Yeah, it looks quite good. It's got the Moser Roth thing. I think the top is maybe a bit more lip servicey to a different chocolate flavour than normal. I mean, but it's still, I think you can still see it goes quite deep. There's that indent in there. Nice sort of mottled look to it. That's on the bottom. It does say MR in the top there, if we can see. Right. Yeah. Okay. So zoom down a bit. Yeah, I don't know if Rick and Zhao. Yeah, people. I know you mentioned QP mentioned before what we're having for tea. Now, it doesn't mean the drink. He didn't mean the drink with that. It's meant to like food wise. You see, that's probably why. Yeah. So in the north of England, tea is the sort of evening meal as well. So you can still say dinner, but it's a bit complicated. But dinner's generally what you'd have for lunch. but it can extend to like a sort of type of evening meal as well, to an extent. So there we go. Yes, it's one of those. It's yeah, it's a hard one to explain. Well, that's what QP was meaning before about tea. Yeah, so so it's not the drink tea, but we still do call the drink tea as well. So it can be quite confusing. But there we go. So that might have been why it threw you a bit when she asked what you're having for tea. But yeah, it's a funny design, this one. As we said, it's yeah, but it's I think it's based on the Hotel Chocolat design. I quite like the way it's kind of bulging out at the bottom as well a bit. You can see that it's not quite flat. It's definitely been filled to the brim. Okay, so the diameter at the bottom, circumference rather. No, diameter, not circumference. It's about 2.9. And obviously at the top, roughly, because I can't quite get it perfect, it's about 2.1. And the height, about 2.25 maybe. 2.2 if you're rounding down. Yes, it's one of those. Yes, but there's different. It's just one of those localization things. I'm sure you have it a lot in Brazil as well. Just different parts of the country say different things. But yeah, it's but it can be confusing because a lot of English that's taught outside of the UK is generally sort of like London centric, I think you'd say. So yeah, so these nuances can be can catch people out. I remember yeah, when I was trying to learn Spanish, this guy I was learning it from was helping me learn. He was mentioning he'd learnt English for ages. You know, he'd done all these qualifications and stuff. On his first day in England, I think, it was, yeah, in the UK and England, he was getting the bus somewhere, and the driver said, you know, said, you know, when he left the bus, the driver said "tar" to him, and it means thanks. But but he never knew that, so he'd done all this studying, done all these exams, but one of the first words he heard was that one he'd never even heard of before. You know, so it's quite amusing. Okay, yes, so right, let's give this a open. Quite a soft one, this one. It cooked quite easy. You can see a very thick chocolate bottom there. So again, like I say, I'm not sure what to, you know, subjective viewpoint on that really. You could say it's quite a lot of thick chocolate, which might mean less middle, which might mean less, you know, an implication as to why it's cheaper. But I don't know. I quite like the thick chocolate. I think that means you can taste the chocolate. Which is sometimes not the case with these. I think it gives it something a bit special. Quite a thin layer of white chocolate though. I think that might be a bit too thin for me. I think it's, you know, you're not likely to taste that, but we'll see. Speculoos. Not much of a... There's a bit of a winter spicy smell to it, but not very strong. Not very strong, but you know, it's there. But if you're not looking for it, I don't think you'd get it. Basically. Okay, let's zoom up and well, not zoom up. Lift myself up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, very interesting, these ones. Very. I haven't had QP was mentioning pizza before. I've not had a pizza for really a while now. I really do, because of all the chocolates I'm having at the doing all these reviews. I have to be careful with what I eat for savoury food. So basically, pizza, because they're quite high in calories, I can't have them very often. Basically, I think I've just done it wrong way around there. I'll put the thing back up again. I didn't lower the colour before, so okay, didn't need to do it back. Yeah, new recipe can be Bourneville. I remember you saying you're a bit worried about it because it's yeah, it's got milk in it now, hasn't it? Yeah, didn't taste nice. I know you weren't a big fan of it anyway, though, Andrew. I think because it's quite a weak dark chocolate, isn't it? Water the cocoa taste down. Yeah, it tastes like dark milk. Yeah, see. Yeah, shame. I don't know what they've done with that really, but very odd. Very odd. Yeah, it's always quite. I remember you saying it's quite a weak dark chocolate anyway, wasn't it, Bourneville? I quite like it for being that way. You know, I quite like. I think 50 odd percent is probably the limit of dark chocolate for me to be enjoyable. I think I don't mind it above that, but to enjoy it, I think it's got to be lower than 60 for me. I think. Okay, let's right. Let's give this a taste. Yes, speculoos. Let's have a see. Yeah, very soft centre. Like a sort of truffly pralini type centre. Actually, very nice. So it's got loads of little micro crunches in, I think you'd say. So really small. You know, sometimes you get in some of these chocolates really small crunchy bits that are even smaller than a grain of sugar. It's kind of like that really, and it's a again really nice. It's it delivers that speculoos taste, but it's not too strong, but it's nice, just nicely strength really, and a good chocolate base. You get a nice crunchy, well not crunchy, but a crisp chocolate base. I don't really taste the top of it, you know. I think there's more for decoration than anything else. You don't really get that white chocolate top, which is what they normally do in other chocolate selections, where they claim it to be like a white chocolate, you know, chocolate, but this one doesn't really even claim that. Again, another solid one, really. It just tastes as you'd want it to, really. It's got a nice, I'd say, thick chocolate bottom. And the middle's really tasty, and it's nice and soft. Well, not soft, it's even just melts in the mouth, really. But it's got little crunchy speculoos bits in it. Very, very, I'd say, micro crunches, I would call them. It's quite a subtle speculoos taste as well, not too strong. Just tastes really nice. You know, again, not going to blow your socks off, I don't think, but just a solid, lovely chocolate that is distinctive, really tastes very nice. Yeah, I think it's another solid 4 out of 5. I think it's just, yeah, coming on really well, this one. I really like that. I'd say it's not too strong. I like the way the biscuit sort of is quite small crunches in it. I think it's nice to have and enjoyable. Yeah, I like that one. Yunky used to eat bone fingers being healthy. Yeah, see. Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Yes. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh well, at least yeah, what did he say after that? Did he keep eating it or did he stop? Honestly. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, really. I quite like Bourneville, though. I miss it from Cadbury's Roses. It really reminds me when I was younger that, you know, it used to be in there, and they had this quite distinct look to them as well. That and Dairy Milk, even these little tabs, and you could double them up and things. You know, they weren't much different than like a giant button almost, really, but a bit thicker, but you know, but obviously rectangular. And it was just nice. I just miss that look of them. I really wish I could go back and just have the roses from my childhood again. Yeah, so there was a random one in there though that I didn't remember till again Steve Jones mentioned it in the comments. I think it's called was it Montpellier or something, Montélimar or something like that. It was like a weird. You probably would have liked it, Andrew. I can't remember. It was like a distinct flavour one. I think it was it marzipan or something? I'm not sure, but very distinct. I don't remember. I remember seeing it in the booklet, but I think I always ignored it when I was younger. Yeah, so interesting one. Yeah. 5 chocolates in, and they've all 4 stars. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I was thinking that myself, actually. I was just thinking, yeah, this is looking a bit 4-star-y. But to be honest with you, now, I always have to feel like I have to say this, you know, the average chocolate is 3 stars. I know, obviously, everyone here knows that, I'm sure, but I'll just emphasise it because I feel a bit bad sometimes when, you know, things don't get 5 stars. But, you know, the average chocolate is 3 stars. I think most chocolates I've reviewed in the past in chocolate selections, H-boxes and things, generally get a 3.5 to a 3. So 4 stars is pretty good, really. You know, and I find, yeah, it's an odd one. I feel like chocolates in chocolate selections, even though they are sort of like a novelty gift, I think when you're really scrutinising them, they tend to be rarely get over 4 stars from me. I don't know why that is. I think they just never. I don't know. It's strange. I don't know why that is. Yeah, strange. Yeah, you do like Bourneville, but watered it down. I'll have to give it another go then. Yeah, interesting one, that one. Yeah. It's a bit odd. I don't know why they've done that to dark chocolate. I have to look into it more, so I can't quite. Yeah, it seems a bit bizarre. It does seem bizarre. Right, so we're going to do the maple and pecan sort of, but that's the one we've only got one of, I think. So we'll go to the Salsa Camel Cheesecake. So I think there's 8 chocolates, wasn't there? So there's 8 different types. I think there was. So we nearly got quite a few of them. Yeah, there was 8 types. Not too bad. Okay. So here we go. So it's very similar to the other one, but it's a bit of a darker top this time. I do have another one of the other one, but it's got a bit of dark chocolate on it. But you can see there's a slight difference in shade. So yeah, so now we're doing this one. Okay, so basically the same, but we'll give it a measure and we'll zoom down and have a look at it. Yeah, so what do you all do for chocolate, by the way? Do you eat quite a lot of it, or do you all be quite careful? I know Andrew samples quite a bit, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm never sure actually how much you'll eat. I know QP has some every now and again. Yeah, an interesting one. Obviously, reviewing all this chocolate, it does mean I end up with quite a lot. Sometimes I give it to friends afterwards because I can't eat it all, you know. Well, I could eat it all, but I shouldn't eat it all. So that's why I make sure I, give it away, really, because it's too... I just have too much otherwise, It's dangerous. I have too much as it is, probably. Okay, let's just give this a measure. So the diameter at the bottom, roughly. About 2.9. Yeah, about 2.9. At the top, again roughly because it's not quite, about 2. Lost quite a bit there. And the height, I can spread this out a bit. There we go. About 2.2. Okay. There we go. Right, okay, let's give it a bit of a chop. Yeah, let's say it looks got the same look as you want, just a bit slightly darker. Let's have a look at the description actually of this one. Salted caramel cheesecake. Yes, that's how I see. Crunchy biscuit and salted caramel brittle encased in milk chocolate. So it seems to be quite similar to one, because I would have described the speculoos bits as brittle. I think that's probably a good way of describing it, although I think they were very small, so brittle you might think had been quite big, so we'll see. Yeah, crunchy biscuit and salted caramel brittle encased in milk chocolate. Okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting. Let's give it a bit of a chop then. I expect it to look quite similar to the other one. Seems to be a bit stronger. Oh, there we go. Yes, there we are. So you can see, because clearly see some distinct pieces there. So I think they strike me as being a bit bigger than the pieces in the other one. The biscuit and salted caramel. I think there's quite a strong, yeah, a bit of a salted caramel smell coming from this one. Yes. Yeah, George Harrison sang about Mortelli Mar sweets. See? Savoy truffle, in the song Savoy Truffle back in the 70s. Ah, right, was it quite a big thing? It does sound like, yeah, it sounds an old style chocolate, doesn't it? It does sound, yeah. Well, I would have said 80s, but I guess 70s as well, yeah. So it does sound that way. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. It's funny how things date like that, isn't it? Yeah. I think it was just before my time, pretty much. I think I was on the cusp of when it was going out. But yeah. All right, let's give it a lift up. But yeah, not really. I couldn't remember them at all till Steve mentioned it in the comments, and then it just all came back to me. I remember seeing them. It's very strange that, but I completely forgot about them. Yeah. I do miss roses from when I was younger. It really is part of my childhood. Just thinking about. It's one of those things, isn't it? Just the way they looked and things. And the wrappers and stuff like that. It was very different than how they are now. Right. Okay. Let's give this one a bit of a taste. So it looks very nice again. A bit more white chocolate or blonde chocolate on the top. Might be able to taste it a bit more than compared to the speculoos one, but we'll see. Let's give it a go. Yeah, the crunch is a lot more obvious this time to an extent, but an interesting one. Definitely has a sort of tarty taste to it. If that's the right phrase. Caramel salted caramel brittle. It has it's as if it's got like there isn't any runny bits in it, but it's as if it's got something runny in it. The way it sort of, it's just the way it sort of mixes, in your mouth or whatever. But very interesting taste to it. Very interesting. It's the way it sort of dissolves in your mouth. It kind of releases like another flavour almost, Interesting one, yeah. I think it's definitely has a bit of a salted caramel taste. Not a massive one, but it's definitely there. A lot of crunch in it as well, which I quite like. But again, it's quite a subtle crunch. It's not quite as subtle as the other one, but just another very distinct chocolate, really. I think it's probably a bit sort of more subtle than the other ones that I've had. It's not quite doesn't quite stand out as much as those. I think it's definitely, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's sort of not massively salted caramel cheesecake tasting, really, but it's not too bad. Let me know if the output's all right. By the way, if the video's okay. It's telling me it's going bad down here, but I don't know. Apparently, other things tell me it's okay. Some things tell me it's bad, so I'm not sure. But yeah, very interesting. I quite like this one, but it's very subtle. I think it's a bit more. I think it's less distinct than the other ones. I don't feel like it's quite as good. I feel like it's got a nice crunch into it, but I kind of feel like I'd prefer if the crunch was a bit more crunchy than it is, just to replicate the cheesecake a bit more. And the salted caramel again is quite subtle in it, but as I say, it does release that sort of secondary wave of flavour as you're eating it, which is very strange. It's an interesting one, and I quite like the way, I say, the truffle isn't too bad either. It doesn't taste truffly as such, it has, because of all that sort of crunchy little biscuits in. It's coming through okay. Oh, great, thanks Joe, thanks. Yeah, just on my thing I have like a preview window, and it's just telling me also it's got the swirly thing, and it's telling me that it's not getting enough data and stuff like that, you know. But the software that I'm using is telling me everything's fine, so you know. Anyway, I should just ignore it, shouldn't I? But sometimes it's right, you know, so I don't know. But thanks so much, thank you, thanks, Joe. Yeah, an interesting one. I'm not too. I don't know how to rate this one, because it's. I feel like it's not got an oomph as much as the others. Really, there's just something a bit less exciting about it. But nevertheless, it's got quite distinct flavours. So I think it's probably a 3.5 out of 5. I think, but that's probably doing it a slight disservice, because I feel like it's got a lot going on about it. You know, it's interesting, but it just doesn't stand out as much. But maybe that secondary wave of flavour does a bit. So I don't know. It's almost a 4. But I feel like it doesn't quite stand as high as the rest of them. So I think I'm going to lower it down just because of that, really. So it's a bit unfair, maybe. Yeah, I still liked it, though. And it's probably make it sound worse than it is. But yeah, interesting, though. Yeah, still nice. Yes. Possibly, Joe, possibly, yeah. I think what it might be is I think it's just the preview window is a bit of a pain. I think that's all it is. I mean, it could be different browsers. I think it's probably just I think it's just YouTube being wrong, basically. But I don't know how that's possible. But you could be right. I don't know. But the thing is, to cut a long story short, my streaming software that's allowing me to stream, it tells me basically the information rate, the bit rate it's called. So I know that what it's transferring is fine, but YouTube's telling me it's not getting a solid bit rate, you see. So it's usually when my streaming software's telling me that it's bad, that's usually when it is bad. But it's just a bit odd that YouTube's telling me it's bad. So it just worries me a bit, you know. But it has happened quite a few times where it's told me it's not working, and it is, you know. But it just worries me a bit, because I don't know whether it's just a delayed response or something or whatever. So I don't know. Technology, eh? Yeah. Right, so I think we've got the free special ones now. The ones we only got one of. So these are the ones we only got one of now. So it's the sour cherry, which we reviewed last time. It's the super milk crunchy praline, which I think super milk might be a way of saying dark milk. I'm not too sure, or just extra milky. I think I don't know, one or the other. And the maple and pecan, Rick's favourite. Yes. Yeah, British Cloud, you say? Yeah, it could be. Yes, British Cloud Computing. Honestly, oh, who knows? Actually, well, yeah, it looked quite sunny before, but I think it's actually just a bit. I don't know, not one thing or another now. Okay, I'll just get rid of this chocolate into my chocolate bowl. Okay. Right, so got the 3 last ones now. So I think we'll start with the sour cherry, shall we? Because we did that one last week. I think it was part of one of the other selections. So I think I gave it a 4 last time. So we'll see. Odds are that it's probably going to get a 4 again. It was very nice. I remember it being basically quite a thick sort of strawberry filling, and it was quite nice, quite powdery, but it worked as from what I remember. And obviously a dark chocolate back, nice bit of a swirl there as well. And top looks good. You can see a bit. I think there's a bit of cherry cream on the outside on that bit there, so you can see a bit there where some's come from somewhere. Yeah, that's an interesting one. A bit of a cracking. Is that a crack or a decoration? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's interesting. Looks good. London Bridge is falling down also, I see. Do you have that nursery rhyme in Canada? Yeah, interesting one. Yes, there we go. Sour cherry, zingy and fruity cherry flavoured chocolate truffle coated with dark chocolate. So it sounds very nice. Yes, sounds very nice. Okay, so I think this is very much well, yeah. It is a standout one, really. It was in the other set, of course, which might, takes away slightly from it, but just lower the brightness a bit. Sometimes I make it too dark, but sometimes when it tries to focus in and things, it makes it gets the wrong colour. So there we go. Right, it looks interesting. Let's just give it a quick measure. I think it's quite similar to the other one, really. We'll do it. Diameter at the bottom, about 2.9 before. About 2.1 now, was it, roughly? Not quite at the top, but yeah. And then, anything else? Height, yes. About 2.1. But with the swirl, about 2.3. Interesting. It's one of those, I think London Bridge is actually in the US now, because I think some guy buy it or something like that. I think Tower Bridge is the one people think of. I think London Bridge is actually in the US now. Some guy bought it 200 years ago or something like that. I think it's the US anyway. Okay, let's. It's a bit of a strong one. This one might break a bit problematically because of the crack in it. We'll see. Yes. Okay. Very interesting. It's not what I expected it to look like. It looks very orange, that one. Very interesting. See all the chocolate layers in this as well. Not sure what's happened there. That's very, very odd. Definitely doesn't look the same as last week. I'm sure it was quite. You can see there. Interesting look to it. Don't know what's happened to that one. Doesn't seem quite right. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting way the chocolate's all gone down. It gives it a bit of a weird look to it, but yeah, all right. Well, very interesting. Doesn't quite look very cherry. That is the actual colour. It's not the camera causing havoc. It does actually have that orange look to it. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah. The Sabbath date's the 30th of June 2022. So should be fine. So yeah. All right. Let's lift myself up. Give us one a taste. Bit of a strange look to it, but we'll go with it. This is the taste that matters. But I'm sure the one last week, I think the one last week did have a bit of a look to it, but it still looked a bit, still looked the right colour. So we'll see. It's just a different recipe for this one or not. Here you can see it might be upside down. We can see there, 30th of June or July, 2022. Okay, that's something. It's 10:22, but yes. Okay, yes, yeah. See, yeah, us too. Yeah, and Ring of Roses and all that lot. Yeah, same here, Rick, as well. Honestly, I wonder if they still do that these days. These nursery rhymes probably do, don't they? But yeah. Okay, let's give us a taste. Let's do it. Here we go. It still has a cherry taste. Does taste different than the one last week, I have to say. One last week was quite thicker, and a bit sort of powdery. This one, I don't know if they've changed the recipe slightly, in between it now or something. But this doesn't taste the same. It tastes a bit more strangely sort of alcohol-y, this one. It's a bit of a strange one. Don't know if the cherry is fermented or something, but it's got a it does taste different. I can't believe it's a different chocolate because it looks exactly the same on the outside. So I don't know if it's just a different recipe or don't know. It's not quite as good in this one, basically. Last week I think it was very nice. This one's okay. Dark chocolate's still there, but I think the cherry flavour is quite tart as usual, but it just has a slightly different taste to it. Has a bit more of like a cherry liqueur sort of taste to it, really, rather than a cherry taste. Excuse me. Yeah, funny one. I don't know, this one. It's not quite as distinct flavour. It's interesting to have. But it's not quite as nice. It's just, I say, more like a cherry liqueur. If you like cherry liqueurs, I think this one probably tastes great to you. But I don't know, for me, it just had a bit of too much of a sharpness, too much of that alcohol-y taste for me. I'm not a big fan of it. So obviously, if you are, then this is a plus point for you. But it didn't taste the same as last week. Last week was a thicker, it had a sort of bit of a texture to the cream. This one doesn't have that texture. Has a bit more of a, I don't know, and a bit more of an alcohol-y taste in a way. Yes, maybe it's because I'm a bit comparing it with last week, but I think probably 3 out of 5 this one. It just wasn't quite as good. I don't know. It could be just a one-off and it's not. For some reason, this one's a bit of a bad one. But I feel like they've probably changed the recipe and hopefully this is the old one. Yeah, it wasn't as good, that one. Bit of a shame, but distinct cherry flavour, but not done in the right way. Coronation Street lunch. I see, honestly. Yeah, Coronation Street. I think it's in it. We have it like I think it's on all the time here. I think it's on like in the daytime, but it's more usually on in the evening, and I think repeats in the lunchtime. I think. Yeah, so maybe it's a live, well, not live, but like the days of evening one here, because obviously time for you we're plus 5 hours or something, so it could be interesting. So Coronation Street, yeah, see. So they're all northern accents and things. Yeah, that's definitely. You might say T in that, I think, Rick. Might have noticed that. Yeah, Mum used to be a big fan of Coronation Street. Honestly. Yeah, the BBC's equivalent is EastEnders. That's a London-based one. Yeah, but it's always a bit depressing now, I think. So I don't know. Honestly. Nice, there we go. Yeah, it's not bad, that one. A bit disappointing, that one, I think. You know, yeah. Bit of a shame, that one. I think there was something not quite right about that cherry one. I don't think it's just a one-off. But again, because we've only got one in the pack, we can't determine that. So again, you know, they've only given us one of that. So, you know, there we go. That's why it's a bad thing, generally. Okay, so let's try the maple and pecan, Rick's favourites. Let's see. That's what you'll be waiting for, Rick. Let's have a look at this. So it looks quite nice. A bit of a novel swirl on it. A bit of a bulge at the bottom there as well, where it's been filled in. Not bad. What's the description on this one? Let's have a look. Yes, rich maple and caramelised pecan pieces covered in smooth milk chocolate. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's zoom down. Let's have a see. Right. Okay, I'll just adjust the camera a bit. Okay. Right. So that's quite interesting. I think the M's probably the Moser Roth M as well, isn't it? I guess. Don't know if it's actually not quite the same. Let's have a look. Just noticed that. I assume it probably is meant to be that, but obviously it doesn't look quite the same. Could be some W maybe, but yeah, there's no W in it, so there's a chance it might be that. It could just be a coincidence. But there we go. Yes, let's see. Yes, well, obviously, I realise. Don't mean to stereotype you there, Rick. I mean, I'm only joking, really. But yeah, 2.8 centimetres at the bottom in width. Yeah, that's the same on both sides. And at the top, about 2.5, 2.6. There we go. And then the height at 1.5, and with the decoration about 1.8. Okay, there we go. Right. Let's give it a bit of a chop then. So go through the decoration. That's quite soft, this one, compared to all the others. Decoration didn't jump off, but it did a bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. So, interesting. Let's have a look. So what was the actual description again? Yes, rich maple and caramelised pecan pieces. Covered in smooth milk chocolate. It's an interesting one. So I guess this might be a sort of nutty one. With quite a thick chocolate again. You can see sort of some bits of nut in there. I think you can see little dots. Interesting. Okay, well, let's lift us up. Give it a bit of a taste. Looks a nice one. So it might just be, you know, not too sure. Nutty ones can be a bit hit and miss sometimes for me, so we'll see. Let's have a look. Yes. Basically, just don't melt. Yeah, well, you know, where I am, basically, it's usually not very warm here, basically, Joe, is the gist of it, you know. I guess where you are, it might be very warm most of the time, really, but here it's quite, yeah, the temperature's not too bad, Joe, and even where I am now, quite, you know, I'm in my house, it's a bit warmer because of the heating, but yeah, so we don't have that sort of ambient warm temperature, basically. But in the summer, it was a bit like that. It was getting quite bad. But yeah, so we're quite, I guess, quite fortunate in some respects. All right, let's give this a go. So it's like, That's a bit more of a fudgy taste, this one. It's in the Cadbury's fudge. Oh, chemicals. Yeah, you could be right there, Rick, as well. Yes. Yes, there is that chance. Yes. I must admit, yeah, there is that chance. Quite a nice taste, this one. Got a bit of a fudgy taste to it, like a Cadbury's fudge, so it has that sort of typical taste, but you can definitely taste the sort of, I'd say, I think the pecans, let's see, what's the other nut in it again, I forgot. Maple and pecan. It's pecans anyway, but a bit of a, sort of, I don't know, I guess what I would describe as a maple syrupy taste, but of course, you know, I'm not too sure if that's really what it is. But yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, it's definitely got the taste of what you'd expect in a maple and pecan. It does have that. It does come across like that, but gives you a bit of like that a sort of Cadbury's fudgy, not consistency but taste. It's quite soft in the middle. I mean, the truffles in this one are quite nice, and I think they're quite distinct because they've all had a distinct taste to them, whereas all the other truffles in other selections have always been just a regular truffle with a flavouring on top or below it or something like that. Well, these ones of truffles have all been flavoured. They've all been very smooth as well. They've been quite distinct and easy to eat and tasted, distinct from other chocolates. Not really any crunch to this one. There is probably slight, but not much. You'd think there'd be more. It's more the taste you can get of the pecans and maple parts of it. It's not bad. I think it's not my favourite. I think it's it's a nice chocolate. I just don't think it's quite as nice as the others, really. I think it's, as I say, we are getting towards the end. It could be a last chocolate syndrome almost, but yeah. I'm not too sure. I think it's a nice chocolate, but it's nice. It just doesn't stand out as much as the others. It gives you a subtle mapley, pecan-y taste. It's like a slight caramelising to it as well. It's not pleasant. It's just not, I don't know, it's not as distinct as the others, I think. It's more a bit of an average choc. I think for me it's a 3.5 out of 5, basically. But it's still nice. I still liked it. I think just perhaps not quite as stand out as the other ones, really. I think it kind of pales a bit in comparison to the others. And the nuts side of it, while for me it's probably better than not too distinct, I don't think these have much of a taste there really to lift them up too much. It's just a bit subtle again, so maybe sort of like pecan and maple fans might be a bit disappointed as well. I got to keep them in the fridge now, have you? Ah, see, right, okay. Mainly Christmas as well. I guess that's peak summertime, isn't it? Christmas. Here it's sort of, well, not the coldest time of year generally, but it's certainly not the warmest. It's getting on for midwinter. If not, it's midwinter. So tends to be January and February the coldest here, or sort of that when those two, the end of January generally. Don't often have to keep chocolate in the fridge, even when it's really hot. Like this year, I didn't really have to put any chocolate in the fridge. It wasn't too, but it wasn't. If I handled it, I'd have to, but I could just keep it to the side. It was fine as long as you didn't sort of handle it and things. Strange on that one, but at least it means you keep it healthy. You don't have to chocolate all the time. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Right. So I think we're at pretty much the last one now. I think. So what's the last one? It's the super milk one. Yes. There we go. So it is. I'll. Got it here to hand actually. Milk and dark chocolates with roasted and salted hazelnut praline, hand finished with caramelised hazelnut pieces. So another nutty one. Roasted and salted hazelnut praline. So it's another sort of middle one. This one might be a bit more of a mundane one as well. Some chocolate out of the way. Okay, let's move myself with that. Let's show it first. There's one that's a bit like the Eat and Mess one. It's that sort of box one. You can see these sort of chopped hazelnuts on top. Bit of an interesting one. That sort of mountain design, whatever it is there, that they have on the bottom of these square ones. So that's quite nice. Yeah. Okay, well, let's give it a chop, give it a measure as well. Let's have a look. Interesting set then, this one. I definitely think it's it's a nice set, this one. I think for sure. I think it suffers from still having some slightly more mundane ones than others, but I think they've been generally pretty good even then. They've not been too weak, even ones that have been a bit more like the last couple, like the last one we did, maybe the last couple. I say it could be last chocolate syndrome kicking in, but I don't think it is. I think they just are a bit more plain than the other ones. Okay, let's give it a bit of a measure. Okay, the height 1.8, almost 2 centimeters. 1.7 it went down to. If you do the height from here though, where slightly raised part of it for the bottom, that mountain bit, it's about 1.9. You can see there at the bottom where it's raised, so yeah. Then the width at the top, about 2.9. Width at the bottom, about 2.45, 2.5 almost. There we go, I think it's the same on each side. And that's about 2.37 there, so maybe not quite, near enough. Yeah. Okay, let's give this one a chop. Let's see. Quite a thick chocolate around the top there, you can see one side. I don't know if it's just a lip or not, but let's give it a go. In fact, I'll just wash my knife a bit. some the maple on it still. Okay. Quite tough. There we go. Oh, look at that. So it's a very... it's actually falling out of that, so I'll come to that in a minute. Yes, it's a very sort of interesting one. It's got a bit of a topper to it there and a distinct middle. What does it say? Milk and dark chocolate with roasted salted hazelnut praline. Hand finished with caramelized hazelnut pieces. I'm going to put them on by hand. Milk and dark chocolate. Okay, so I guess the milk chocolate's that layer on the top. And dark chocolate around the edging and the basket, and then that sort of hazelnut praline. So again, might suffer from the fact that the dark chocolate's not as thick in this one. Like we've seen, that's been quite a distinct advantage in the other ones, where it's been quite thick at the bottom. But this one it's not. So do you think hazelnut's more common than peanuts in chocolates in the UK? It could be, yeah, Joe. I think peanuts is quite common in just sort of regular bars like Snickers and things. But yeah, I think in these chocolate selections, it tends to be hazelnuts, doesn't it? I think it's just seen as a bit more upmarket, I think, basically. Is the reason for that, I think. But yeah, definitely seems to be the thing, doesn't it? You know, yeah, you don't see many peanuts in these, do you? I don't think we've ever had any peanuts in these selections, actually. But if you do get like a regular chocolate bar, like Reese's or whatever, they generally will have peanuts in them if they have a nutty one. It's usually like sort of upmarket ones like Ferrero Rocher and stuff like that that have hazelnut pieces in. Yeah. You can see the centre. It's quite soft, this centre. It looks solid there as it's come out, but it's, you know, it's quite soft actually. It's sticking to my fingers as well. Yeah, so I could squeeze it in. Yeah. So it's not, even though it looks solid, it's actually quite soft. Wash my hands a bit. Yeah. All right, let's have a give this one a taste then. So this is the last one, yes. Yeah, it's a different one, yeah. Strange, isn't it? Yeah, you'd think there would be more peanuts in these selections, but yeah, I don't know why that is. But yeah, there rarely are. I don't think I've ever seen one with peanuts in these chocolate selections, to be honest with you. I'm not sure why that is, because I'd say they do turn up in regular chocolates, Jow, so I don't really know. Yeah, very strange. Yeah, this is a strange one. Because of peanut allergies as well, maybe. I don't know. I lost this, but then I guess that might count for nut allergies. So yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't really know what the reason for that is, and you could argue the same with the bars as well, for the same reason, yeah, but you still have them there. So I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's an interesting one. All right, let's see what this is like. As I say, we've got that big truffle centre there. Yeah, sauté is not praline. Yeah, praline in this case, not truffle. Although pretty much the same thing. Okay, let's give this a taste. Interesting one. Strange one, this one. It's very quite rich taste coming from that truffle or praline. Bit of hazelnut taste. I can't really taste the sort of caramelised part of the hazelnut or whatever. Doesn't really taste much very caramelly to me. Bit of a crunch on them. They're quite soft as well. Give it quite a lot of, a bit creamy, this one. Get a bit of dark chocolate to it, but it's I'd say the main taste is that sort of hazelnut praline or whatever in the middle. A sweet taste to that, really, strangely. Let's just take it apart here. We've got the milk chocolate bit at the top. Nice crunched hazelnuts there. Bit more of an average chocolate, this one. Yeah, it's okay. Basically, we've got the dark chocolate outside here. It's all right. Hazelnuts sort of don't stand out too much, you know. It's got a bit of a sweet taste to the praline. It's okay. I mean, none of it really stands out too much. You just get mainly the praline centre, and it's an alright taste. It's nothing too dramatic. Yeah, so we are getting towards the end now, so this definitely could be last chocolate syndrome, but it definitely tastes a bit less exciting, this one, than the others, for sure. It's just a bit more of a regular chocolate, this one. Are peanuts cheaper than hazelnut? I'm not too sure, Joe, actually. I don't know. I feel like they probably are. In this country, at least. I feel, because they're just more common. You just see them more. They're more typical. You know, they're more associated with... Yeah, they're just more of a typical thing to have, if you know what I mean. Peanuts basically. But I don't know if they're cheaper or not. But they just tend to. I think they've just got less of a bit more of a sort of simpler reputation, I guess. Yeah, it could be that. That's what I mean about last chocolate syndrome. Yeah, the first chocolate syndrome is where the first ones always taste great because you're ready for them and they're really nice. But yeah, so we've always got to bear in mind last chocolate syndrome, where it could just be you're sick of them by that point. So there is always that risk, and there's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. That's why I mention it. Yeah. So, but I feel like, but to be honest with you, I feel like it could be a case. So it is always there. There's always that asterisk. But I feel like the actual topic of this one, I mean, it's not a very exciting one, really. To be honest with you, the last two have been a bit more mundane on paper. So it stands to reason that they probably would be in practice as well. And the sour cherry one was just different. It just was. We tasted that near the end of the last week as well, because there was only one of them in the last one. I think there was anyway, but it just wasn't as good this time around. For whatever reason, could be a one-off. I don't know. But this one, yeah, milk chocolate. So the milk chocolate, the dark chocolate wasn't as thick in this one, where it's been quite thick in the other ones. Like the bottoms of them have been distinctly thick. It wasn't in this case, so it didn't stand out as much. And the milk chocolate was quite thin. I thought the sort of brittly bits on the top were quite nice, but they didn't taste of anything. It was just more of a crunch. The milk chocolate with them worked quite well. It wasn't too bad, but again, it was just it was okay. It was nice. The sort of hazelnut praline, again, it was just sort of, it was your typical hazelnut type praline. It had a bit more of a sweet taste to it though than normal. It wasn't too, it was better than normal, I think, is the gist of it. But I feel overall that none of it really lifted it to be more than just an average type chocolate. That's a bit more typical. You'd find in a lot of chocolate selections for me. This one, as I say, it could be the last chocolate syndrome kicking in. I don't think it is particularly, and I think if it was, I would only raise it by half a mark at the most. I think it's a bit of an average one, that one. It's probably the most average one of the lot. And I think for that reason it's a 3 out of 5, really. Yeah. I don't think there's much more. Trying to see if I can elaborate on that, but I think that summed it up quite well. It's a quite interesting set, actually. I quite like this one. I think fair to say we had a bit of I think the last couple were a bit more mundane than all the rest. As I say, last chocolate syndrome we spoke about, that could be that, but I think they definitely were a bit more, but to be honest, to be fair, there's only one of those in the packet, so whereas all the others have two, aside from the sour cherry, which again was a bit disappointing because of the fact that it just wasn't really, last week it was really nice in one, and this one it just was a bit more poor. It was orange coloured rather than red, and it had the consistency wasn't quite as good, and the taste wasn't quite as good either. So I don't know why that was. Could be a mistake or whatever, but that's a quality control thing. And again, might be a problem with the chocolate selections. We don't know. We can't review them 50 times, as much as we like. So, so an interesting one. Interesting one. I feel for me this one is. I think it started off definitely. We went through some really good chocolates. I think towards the end it went a bit. I don't think, as I say, I don't really. I feel like it's good to have those other ones in there, and I don't think it's a problem to have them. I think they do add a bit of variety to it, and I'm glad they're the outliers rather than the norm, and the other ones aren't the outliers. So I'm glad they've got it the right way around. As far as the weaker ones are kind of the the one-offs. Well, it is a shame that the cherry's included in that in this case, but again, it could just have been a one-off that it wasn't very nice. But as I say, yeah. And I think it's good that we've got those ones. There are people who like those specific ones, like the nutty ones and things. I think for me, it's the right way around to have them as a sort of, as I say, one-offs of the pack, and for them to be the weaker ones. I think all the others were really nice and quite distinct. But those were distinctly sort of, as they didn't have the thick chocolate bases, which, while you might argue is a bad thing in some cases, I think actually helped the chocolates out quite a lot and made them quite distinct. So overall, I think I still, it has lowered it a bit with those ones, but I think overall still, I think because the other ones are more prominent than they are there and quite distinct, and they work really well for what they are. I think you could say some of them are a bit sort of typical flavours that you've seen elsewhere, but I think they work really well for what they were. So I think for me it's still a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I think it's still a good solid selection actually. I still liked it. As I say, it's all, if anything, it's probably a 3.5, not a 4.5. It's not going that way up really. As I say, because of some of the weaker ones. But I think generally when it was good, it was good. You know what I mean? And there's only a couple of ones that sort of brought it down a bit slightly. And the cherry one might generally be better. It might have been improved by a newer recipe, or it might have just been a one-off that made it not quite as good this time. Which I'm not sure what to think about that, because you could argue, well, it should always be consistent. It's a hard one to say that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to say about that really. Yeah, overall a good set. I enjoyed that. It was a good, nice set. You know, as I say, it sort of petered off a bit towards the end, but you know, it's just the order I did them in really. But as I say, I think those are ones with only one-offs, as I say, generally were the worst ones in the set. So if you bear that in mind, that's the better way to have it, isn't it? Yes, there we go, guys. Yeah, I won't forget to do the poll this time. Let's see, what do we get this time? 10 votes this time. Let's have a look. Ooh, yes. Well, there is a distinct winner. Let's have a see. Interesting one. I didn't put Moser Roth in this select. I wanted to. I can only put 4 things in it, unfortunately. But I thought maybe, well, we're reviewing Moser Roth, so it might be a bit unfair to put it in. So let's have a look. Yes, Cadbury won with 40%. Yeah, 10 votes, so clearly 4 votes. 3 votes for Thornton's, 2 for Nestle, and 1 for Hotel Chocolat. So there we go. So an interesting one, yeah. So Cadbury, I think Cadbury is, you know, the nation's favourite, isn't it? That's what they say. So, you know, I guess it was likely to win. Roses has always been popular, and Cadbury's products generally are pretty popular, aren't they? So, you know, I think for me, I probably would have gone, I don't know what I would have gone for, really. Might have done Cadbury as well, actually, you know. I think I've just got a soft spot for Roses. I guess they do, you know, Heroes as well, of course. They've got a bit of variety there. But I wouldn't say they're sort of like massively, you know, the best chocolates in the world, but they do tick a lot of boxes, don't they? You know, yeah, so there we are. Yeah, but Thornton's, interestingly, was still third, well, second row with 30%. That was an interesting one. Yeah, but Nestle quite low down. Interesting results, that. I'd say it's only, let's say, 10 votes, but even so, still interesting. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, there we go, guys. Yes, there we are. We did a good set there. Not bad at all. So I guess the next Moser Roth is the winter collection. Yes, it will be pretty much winter by that time, I think. The next couple of weeks, I'll probably be doing some Halloween stuff. So I know we normally do a vote for voting for obviously what live review to do, but I think I might just do some Halloween ones just to get them done, because obviously I need to do them before Halloween. And I think, you know, next Saturday, or sorry, 2 weeks today will be Halloween Eve or whatever. That's, you know, yeah. I think Halloween is like an Eve day anyway, but but Halloween Eve. So there we go. So I think, you know, so yeah. But anyway, so the gist of it is probably do some just Halloween stuff the next couple of weeks. So I might not be doing any votes about it. So hope you don't mind that. But I think need to do them before Halloween, basically. So it's just one of those. I can't really put it to the vote, because otherwise there's only 2 weeks to do Halloween now, isn't there? So so there we go. You voted for Nestle, Joe. You say, yeah, yes. It's probably a bit more, possibly more of a yeah, probably more of a brand there, isn't it, where you are? I guess Thornton's is probably typically UK, and Cadbury's probably more so as well. So yeah, yeah, 90s. Yeah, I think 90s, like Andrew was saying before. I think he alluded to it anyway. Back in the day, well, maybe not actually, but maybe it was me. But anyway, yeah, back in the day, you know, yeah, I think the 90s and yeah, just seem to have something going for them. I think these days, yeah, I think like Andrew said, things have just petered off a bit these days. I don't know why it is. I think it's just things have just tended to be a bit more. I think like QP was mentioning, things have just gone to be a bit more safe these days. You know, there's nothing really too standing out. You know, they'll all just follow the same template or go for salted caramel as it is at the moment. You know, or chocolate orange in some cases. You know, so they all just kind of go for the same thing. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? It is a bit of a shame. Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah, so maybe it's a bit of a UK-centric vote there, so apologies for that, Joe, but thanks for voting anyway, yes. But again, it's not mean that Nestle aren't, you know, it's just, I think Cadbury's is just a, you know, they're just sort of quite popular here, basically, and they do lots of different selections that, while aren't really top tier or anything, they're just very common and very well liked, you know, so, yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, so there we are. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Joe, yes, I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? But like you say, it's just, yeah, I think Cadbury's is probably quite UK centric. Although having said that, you know, they do a lot in Canada and Australia, I think South Africa as well. So it just depends. But I think, you know, one of those. But I know what you mean. Yeah, that's been very good, guys. Hope you all enjoyed that one. Very good indeed. Yeah, been nice to chat to you all again. Hope you're all having a good day and hope you all have a nice tea. Yeah, Nestle is more global. I think you're right there, Rick. Yeah, I think just Cadbury's quite distinct. Maybe it's in the more sort of English speaking countries that Cadbury's a thing, because obviously it's just one of those that kind of travelled with English speakers moving between countries. So yeah, no, I think you're right. There. Yeah, no, it's been good to chat to you all, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know. Yeah, let me know how you. Well, let me know what you think about all these chocolate selections. Still have in the comments later, or just now if you can. I know there's only a few seconds, but what your favourites are and things like this. Bit of a difficult one. I mean, chocolate selections are a difficult one generally because they do have to cover a lot of bases, and I think sometimes that can be why sometimes they don't quite hit the higher ranks. But you know, they're still nice generally. So it's one of those. Yeah, yeah, Nestle more countries. Yeah, I must admit, yeah. It's one of those, isn't it? Cadbury's always in the duty-free, right? It's probably quite a typical sort of British thing, isn't it, as well? So if you want something British, you know, Cadbury's has that sort of going for it, I guess. You know, maybe that's what it is. That's why it's popular in, like, as you say, in duty-frees and stuff. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, that's a good one that today, guys. Really enjoyed it. Very nice. Yeah, as I say, probably next week be doing some. Probably do the Hotel Chocolat Halloween H box. The weekend after that, I might just do like an assortment of Halloween stuff. So I think in between now and then, I'll just be doing some Halloween reviews as well. So yeah, so it's going to be quite Halloweeny for the next couple of weeks. So I've got to get them done now rather than afterwards. You know, I won't make that same mistake as I did with Easter, where I was just having too much Easter products afterwards. So yeah, one of those. But yeah, take care, Rick. Yeah, great to chat to you again. And you, Joe, of course, and Andrew. Oh, and Shyam. Have a happy birthday, Shyam. Hope you have a great day. Cupid as well. Have a good day as well. Well, happy birthday. It's your birthday, Cupid. I don't think it is, but... Oh, dear. Yes, and Scotty, if you're still bad, I don't think you are. But Alan, of course, as well, if you're still there. And anyone else who's watching, have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you could click the like button, that'd be massively appreciated. Really would be. Leave a comment for you after the event as well, if you're not watching it live. Have a great day, as I say. See you next time. Thanks, everyone. See you later. A bit of a delay, by the way, so if I've gone, before your reply comes, I do apologise, but I probably will have still read it, so thanks a lot. All right, take care, guys. See you soon, everyone. Thanks for your support. Really, really appreciated. Have a great evening. Bye. A lovely weekend.